Okay, so we have Deirdre and Miss Annie, and we're going to show you all the obedience commands that she's learned. First thing you just saw was if she does any jumping up. She's short, so she wants to come up to you to get pets. If she jumps on you, we just gently say which is a universal correction, a verbal correction, and we tell her to sit if she doesn't sit. Right now she self-corrects, so she will sit automatically once we correct her. And you can nudge her off with your leg. You can use the leash to give her a light little tug on the leash to get her down. So good girl. But we're going to sit to get pets. We're not going to jump up. Good girl. So first thing we work on as far as obedience is going to be name recognition. So we want to teach her that Annie is a command. It means to look at you. So what we'll do is right when we say her name, we're going to physically touch her somewhere or tug the leash to get her attention if she doesn't look.
Good girl, Annie.
Good. So you can flip her ear, you can tap her on top of the head, anything to get her attention to look back towards you. And then once she looks, we give her lots of praise. Good job. But we don't repeat any command, including her name. So if you say Annie and she doesn't look, then you're going to physically touch her to get her attention and get her to look at you. Next thing we work on is going to be a let's go command, which is a casual walk at the left side. Loose leash. Good girl. So we hold the leash in our right hand, leaving our left hand free to use, you can touch the leash a little bit and slow her down if you need to, like Deirdre's doing. If she gets too far ahead, if you just do an about turn, you can get her back on your side. Good girl. Praise her while she's walking well with you. And you can see Deirdre's also giving her a visual signal of where to be, which is just patting her thigh. Dogs are very visual. So if you show her where to be, she'll know, okay, I go right where those hands are. Good job. And then I get praise for walking. Good girl. But you always want to make sure that the clasp is underneath her neck so the leash is nice and loose. Good girl. So whenever we stop, we ask her to sit. And every time we stop when we tell her to sit, she's picking up on the pattern, so she should sit automatically, just like that. Good girl. She's very attentive. There's her automatic sit. So if she doesn't sit for you, just say, Annie, sit, and then praise her for sitting.
She's like, I know down.
And she's like, I can lay down too.
Okay.
So the visual for sit, let's see if we just tell her sit. We'll just say her name to make sure we have her attention, and we just say the word sit. Good girl. Stay is going to be a flat hand right in front of her face, just palm facing her nose. Tell her stay. Good girl. And she's used to having distractions around. We've got toys. Other dogs can be moving around her. If she gets up and moves, like she just started to get up, Deirdre said, which is a verbal warning. That means you're making a mistake. If she did get up and move away from this spot, good. So we're going to have her sit since she was on a sit stay, not a down stay. So we gently encourage her to sit back up. Tell her to stay.
Stay.
Good. You just want to get her back in the position you had her in if she makes a mistake. And then back to praising. Good girl. And you can use a sit stay before you go in and out open doors, when greeting guests, anytime you need her just to pause for a moment. It's good for about 30 seconds to a minute or so. If you want her to stay put longer than that, you can put her on a down stay. So the release from a stay is the word okay.
Okay.
And we say it nice and happy, and then she said let's go, so we're going to start walking again. Good job. And she'll go any pace you want to go, any direction. There's another sit stay. Good girl. So if she gets up and moves away from this spot, you'll take the leash and put her right back in the same spot you had her in originally. So you are going to give her a verbal correction and let her know she made a mistake. See if she'll get up. So she got up. See how she's self-corrected? So right when she said she stopped in her tracks and sat back down. And Deirdre was already on her way to put her back in the sit stay. Good girl. Deirdre's crazy. It's Friday, we're happy. So again, the release is okay. Down stay. She loves to do her down stays. So when we teach it, we just have them sit first.
Sit. Down.
And then we tell them down. So you just motion from her nose down to the ground. You can point, it can be a flat hand. She's just going to follow your hand all the way down to the ground. Make sure she's nice and relaxed. She's resting on a hip and up on her two little elbows. This is a working down.
Stay.
Good. So if she rolls around and gets silly like she wants a belly rub, don't praise that, because this is a working down.
Stay.
So you would just ignore that behavior and praise her while she's sitting upright. If she comes over and randomly just rolls over for a belly rub, of course you can scratch her. But if you tell her down, she needs to be laying down like this. Good.
Leash is not
No
something
leash.
to chew on.
So if she starts fussing with the leash, again, you can just give her that verbal warning like, you're making a mistake, and then praise her for doing the right thing, which is not chewing the leash.
Good.
And you can give her random little treats. We do use treats occasionally for puppies. It helps, just helps the learning process, but they're not dependent on the
Let her
treats.
in. I was about to come get a dog anyway. No,
Good girl. So use a
Stay.
downstay, while you're eating dinner. You can put her on a downstay so she can be with you. She gets up,
Down.
verbal correction, tell her to lay back down.
Oh my god.
Good girl.
I feel like my hands are huge on her.
I know.
Stay.
She's tiny.
Good stay, Annie Banana.
So here's other dogs coming. So
No,
if she
ma'am.
gets up,
Nope.
and puppies, their
Stay.
impulse control isn't quite there yet. They get excited. They test boundaries. So the main thing you
Stay.
want to make sure you're doing is if she tests boundaries like she's doing now, like I really want to get up. As many times as she gets up, we're going to lay her right back down so she learns no matter what, I can't get out of it. And then they just quit testing the boundaries.
Nope. Right.
And if she is very insistent on breaking
Stay.
stays or not coming to you or what have you, use that leash and you can give her a snap on the leash if
There
you
we go.
need to.
Next you get
That's her little physical correction.
Good girl.
So it's just a quick little snap.
Good. That's it.
So sometimes you just have to be a little bit more firm.
That's very good.
But now you can see she gets the point. Like, okay, I really have to do it.
Good job. I
And
know
we
it's
give lots of praise for it. Good job.
good. It's horrible. You're just legs.
The only way she can get up is whenever you say, okay.
Stay. Good.
And the next thing we do is we work on a come command, which is on a 20-foot long line. You can get those at the pet store if you want to get a long line or some kind of long twine from Home Depot or wherever. But you want to have at least 20 feet so you have some distance to work from. So here's our long line. So what you want to do is always have her on leash before you give any command right now. She's not reliable off leash. So you're not going to say come unless you have this leash connected in case she doesn't come to you. Then you can get her to come using the
All
leash.
the way down. All the way down. Oh, good girl. There we go.
So when we do a
Stay.
come command, we'll have her distracted and then we'll say her name nice and
No,
clear.
You're fixing to get in trouble. Stop.
Being a
Stay.
puppy, good girl.
Good girl.
Just stay nice and assertive but calm and she'll understand, okay, I have to do it. Now she's sitting back up. She's about to get in trouble. So at least she's not moving. That's a good sign. But you have to go back and tell her what she was doing, which is to lay back down. Good girl.
Girl, that's it.
Just remember, she's a baby. She's just learned everything, so these are the very basics.
Okay.
The more you practice with her, and when you come to class, your follow-up classes and your private lesson, it'll be much more solid, and you'll see her working quite consistently. Okay, so now we're going to have the come command. We get her nice and distracted,
Annie, come.
and we call her.
Good job.
Good job. Praise her all the way in. You can see Deirdre's hands were down at her head level, giving her a visual target to come into. And then we'll have her sit at the end. Good job. And then you just release her from a come command, just say, okay, and then she knows I'm not on command anymore. I can go off and play. She loves toys. And this is a great way to practice a come command and play with her and get some energy out by throwing the toy and then calling her back to you. And you can do this in the backyard, the front yard. You know, the more you practice a come command, the more solid she'll be. Just like practicing any sport. Good girl. So lots and lots of praise. If you want to give her a treat at the end, you can. You don't have to. It's just a fun extra reward.
Let's go see
Good.
Auntie Karen. Let's go see Auntie Karen. Go see a person.
Hi, baby girl.
Annie.
So that's a little bit hard. So see how she's not turning towards her? She just gave her a little tug. Tug the leash until she looks towards you, and then good girl, and then you say come. So we're praising for the look, we're praising for the come, and then okay, we release. Good job. So definitely come to your Monday evening classes. This is so you can practice around the other dogs with an instructor. Mondays from 7 to 8, we do have a handout for you that has all that information, all the commands she's learned, and then you'll schedule the private lesson in your house. That's going to help with house training. We can walk you through all of that, help you practice with her at home, and just make sure she's doing everything well. And make sure the routine you have for her is what she needs. Good girl.
That's a smart puppy.
And she did say she wanted to come to daycare.
Yes, she does.
She
loved it.
was a little nervous at first, but she loves the other small puppies. They have great play groups here. That's going to be a good outlet for her to run and play while you're working if you have errands to run. You can buy packages that do offer a discount. So keep that in mind. All the info is in your package as well.
Stay.
And that is Miss Annie.